The landing is complete, and Rusty tries the steps. All coming up on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. Yep, that is Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Still wrestling with this landing today. Again, trying to figure out the best way to put this together. I want to do the support system for it at the same time, but I also need to have the carpet and pad basically installed on at least one edge. And I was thinking I needed to do the edge against the passenger side wall, and I've completely now abandoned that and decided I need to do the edge that follows the bed rail on the other side, because the landing board needs to be sandwiched up against that beam. There's what will be the landing board platform. I've had to notch it out for the little thing up there in the wall. You can see that little metal piece sticking out. And I've had to notch it for the back corner, which if you can look way across, back there you can see those sandwiched boards at the back corner holding the entire bed frame system up. So that edge right there of the board, I think is what I'm going to go ahead and wrap the carpet around underneath, staple it on the underside so that that can be sandwiched up there on the bottom of that beam. I'll put an arrow in, but I'll try to zoom in right under there. Then I can build the support system underneath it and the side rail that's going to go underneath it. And then I should be able to climb up on top there, screw it down to the wall on that side, screw it down to the beams, the cross beams, the joists, whatever you want to call them. They're going to be in there. Then push the carpet back over, and I'm just going to have to tack it down on that side next to the passenger wall and then tuck it in. I think that's going to be the best solution. And I'm still going to try to get a couple of bolts in that back corner back there, if I can, where you see some sticking down already. If I can utilize that for extra support, I will. Alright, I've got the carpet padded. It's underneath the board right now for the deck there. Carpet cut is what I meant to say. Underneath the board. It is going to be going over that notch. Pad is now cut out into the right shape. So first thing now is to fold this edge over, and we're going to tack this down. Okay, got the board with the pad wrapped around it, stapled underneath on this side, sandwiched up against this beam up here underneath, all the way across. I'm putting in my little cleat that is going to be bolted through the front side. I've got to drill through the other side to get to this, and then we'll have a couple of bolts down here to hold the 2x4, which will then help support the sandwiched board up there all the way across, and it'll bolt into that beam right there. Well, I'm trying to get that beam up there that is going underneath the plank, the platform, and sandwiching it in between the bed beam above that. I ran out of the bolts I needed. I needed the 3/8 inch by 4 inch long bolts, and I needed to get more of those, so I had to, guess what, run to Menards. You'll save big money. But also, it's getting pretty dark down there, and as I was trying to work on stuff, I had my wife help me real quick to drill the holes for the ones for this little section coming down off the back. I'll show you again here. I showed, I think, a little bit of it, but we'll show you again how that's all going together. And as I was walking in Menards, they got the placement down, baby, because then look what I found on my way in. Yep, the Duracell LED headlamps. That's right, so I got this package of 2 of them. It has 3 modes. Ooh, check this out. 3 modes, high, low, and red. Ooh. Yeah, and it says here, pivoting head, soft and resilient stretch nylon fabric. Weather-resistant Infinity X1 smart technology. Ooh. So let's rip this puppy open. I hate this kind of packaging. It's, you know, the only way to get into it is you got to cut the crap out of it and hope you can get to the damn thing. And they don't make it easy either. You need like industrial cutters, and I'm just using regular scissors and see if we can try to get into this dang thing. All right, I cut off one edge. Now can we get to the middle of it? Oh, maybe. Oh, there. Things are falling out. Oh, the batteries are falling out. Okay, here's the instructions. Here's one of the headlamps. Here's the other headlamp. And it does come with the batteries. Of course, most of them are now falling out all over the floor. All right, I think I can basically figure this out. It's got a little strap holding the little piece of rubber band, holding the strap part together. The soft and flexible strap, ah. All right, and it looks like it's hinged on this side. Aha, I see a little, ooh, isn't that nice? So you can pivot. All right, and here's obviously where you open the case. So you can put the batteries in. Aha, pops open nicely. Space for the 3. Let's see, which way do they have to go? We'll get those puppies in there. Ruff, ruff. All right, close her up. And I'm looking for a switch. Of course, you know, if I'd read the directions, maybe that would help, right? Yeah, should probably read the directions. Isn't it fashionable? I figured it out. You push the little Duracell button on the bottom. See? High, low, and red. Why do you want the red? I don't know. But if for some reason you want red, see, look at this. Ooh. Oh, you got it. So there you go. So I can wear that while I'm working under the bunk now because it's completely dark down there. So back to the project. All right, I got one of the bolts in on each side all the way down. That one's just ready to go. And I'm going to put the other bolt in down on that side too, so we'll do that now. All right, wearing my headlamp. Haha, so you can see well. And good old John Hallbrand did mention, yes, when I'm doing the vice grips on one side, I should do it on the head and not the nut, so I don't squeeze the nut. So, good tip, John. Thanks. So we're doing it that way. Ta-da! Still hadn't drilled the other hole on this side, so I got to do that now. Look at this mess I'm making back here. I just cleaned all this up and vacuumed the other day, remember? Well, that's what happens when you're working, baby. All right, the hole's done. Put the bolt through and tighten this one. All right, all bolts are in for the support on that side. That little board coming down to hold my 2x4 going across. All the way over to this side where it's bolted into this big post. Big post. And of course now my new floor for the landing with the rug coming around it, carpet coming around it, is sandwiched up there in between the 2x4 beam and that beam above. It ain't going nowhere, baby. Alright, next we got to do the cross members. We have one towards the front there. Probably want another one right in before that bracket, might as well. And then probably 3 and 4 coming straight across to this beam here. I did get those other 3 bolts that were in the wall cut off with my Ryobi cutter. And yes, using the correct metal blade actually made much quicker work of that. Did a real good job on them. Created a lot more sparks, but you know, what the heck. Got the job done, it's done. So while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and put in, so I have one lag bolt going through to each of these 2x4s holding up step number 4 and 3. I'm going to put one more in on each one, just for, as I like to call, shiggles. Short way to say shits and giggles. What do you think? Alright, got those other 2 bolts in to match those on each one there. Like I say, I know I'm overbuilding this, but I'd rather be overbuilding than underbuilding. What do you think? Okay, now I've got to, remember I only have the carpet attached now at this bottom edge, as it's tucked underneath the vinyl of that one. So that's going to look nice and all that. Now I have to pull this carpet up, get it out of the way. There's a little hole way back there in the corner, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try to stick a little 1/4-inch bolt through that to go into the metal plate underneath. See if I can get that done now. And I'm going to build the cross members underneath, and then I can come up here, screw the floor down to the cross members, screw it down to the side wall here, and get it all in place. Then once all that's done, then I put the pad in, the carpet goes back down over it, and we tack the carpet down all along the edges. Little one step at a time project, baby. Okay, that lone little bolt is in back there. Okay, got my joist hangers here that I'm going to use to attach to the sidewall and the new beam going across. So we're going to get all that done. Okay, cross beams are all up. Got some joist hangers holding them up in there. Going across from this beam here underneath that we sandwiched the floor with to the beam on the other side, which is bolted down. You can see right there to that bracket. You can still see a little bit. I had to cut it out the floor to match the height. I had no idea these cross members would take so long, but they're done, thank God. You can see I'm overbuilding this thing. It's solid. It's going to be solid as freaking crap up there. So now, just going to screw down, do pilot holes, screw deck screws down into those beams. Then I can put the pad and the carpet down. Okay, as you can see, got the deck plate all screwed down into the cross members that are below it. So, you know, and like I say, I probably put in more than I need to, all along the sidewall and everything. Got that bolt in the corner, but this thing is not going to move, and it'll definitely support my weight. So now I'm just going to throw the pad down and the carpet over it. I think we may actually do the tacking tomorrow, but let me get the pad up here and we'll see how things go. Well, I can't quite seem to get the ripples out of it and get it tucked into the wall exactly like I had hoped. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow and try to figure that out and tack this down then. But the landing, for all intents and purposes, is complete. So, just to give you a perspective, here I am sitting on the landing, right next to the bed. Alright, so I'm sitting up here. There's my big post. See, my feet are... Oh, I cut my leg somehow again. Oh well. So here's my feet on landing number 4, or step number 4. You can see all the Menards bags down there with stuff in them, looking down towards the front of the truck. So, yep, I'm sitting up here with no problem. So there you go. Landing is done. Carpet not completely tacked down or wrapped around the front, but there's the landing. All the supports underneath. 4, 3, 2, 1, step the floor. My coat covering my toilet. This will be my seating area. Closet, sink, fridge and freezer right there underneath the landing. It's starting to get real late. It's getting real punchy. Don't know if you can read what I wrote there in paint on my board. Clutch Trucker was here. Yeah, you gotta release some stuff every now and then, right? Yeah, we're gonna wait on tacking everything down till tomorrow. I'm spent. I'm done. Started on this today, planning, thinking, plotting, measuring, figuring out how the landing was going to work, how best to attack it at about 1:30 this afternoon. It is now 2:16 a.m. Mountain Time, so yeah, I'm kind of done. So, but the landing is essentially up there and in place. Chaz Waldrip commented earlier and it cracked me up. He said, because I had mentioned in my last video how putting this all together is like putting together a puzzle, and yet you have to make your own pieces. And he was saying, well, this should be called improvisational carpentry. I like that. I told him, you've coined your own phrase there. I think you'll be using that from now on. This whole project has been that, improvisational carpentry. Well, like I said earlier in one of my previous videos, this was the last of the real structural part of this whole project that really has to be, you know, bolted into the walls, has to be totally secured and everything. Now it's cake stuff. Framing out the platform that's going to hold the fridge and freezer, framing out the closet area, framing out the new sink that's going to go in there, framing out the back of the toilet area, and then of course framing out up there, right there where my finger's pointing, the whole upper deck system hanging out the back. And that's just simply like building a doghouse, putting walls on it, putting roof on it, you know, a small skin on it, and then, you know, the hardest part will be trying to make sure it's watertight and sealed up. So I know it's been taking a long time, but I would safely say we're about 2/3 of the way at least done with this project. All the heavy stuff, the you know, rigid stuff is all complete. Now, the rest of it is just trying to get everything else in, putting the appliances in, sink, blah, 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 building the top around the back, and framing everything out. And then, you know, putting in the goodies like the new lights, the new switches, putting in my new inverter, and wiring everything up. So, you know, and of course I'm probably underestimating how long that's going to all take, but at least the real heavy stuff, the real structural stuff, is all done. Well, thanks for tuning in for that. At least the landing is finally up. And there goes Leon. He's about ready to go to bed, so we're doing the ending before the other parts. We got to go forward to go back. Better press on. Anyway, landing's finally up. Thanks for tuning in for that. Yes, thank you, Rusty. I know, I love you too. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get to your comments usually within 24 hours of doing this project. There's Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. Haven't put anything up in there in a few days, but I will do that again soon, all right? And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Well, my former boyfriend, he had a lip tattoo. A lip tattoo? Yeah, you know what it said? How am I driving? Call 1-800 and then a number? Well, Rusty, I figured since the landing's up and the stairs are up, well, the landing's almost up. Let's see if you can navigate the stairs. Can you go up the stairs? Come get your bacon strip. Come on. Come up here. Come on, Rusty. Give it a shot. Come on. All right, Rusty. You're all done with your bacon strip. Can you make it down? Come on. Let's see if you can make it down. Come on, Rusty, down here. You're up in the upper bunk. Oh, that's too funny. Come on, Rusty, get back on the landing and come down. Come on down. Rusty, over here. Come back over here. All right, so you made it that far. Now come on down. Come on. You can do it. Come on, Rusty. All right, see, look? Right there. There you go. Now you're down a step. Now you just come down here. Come on, Rusty. Well, it wasn't the prettiest effort, but you made it.